Hello and welcome to the Hunt Banish Extract podcast. I am your host, the Drunken Bard, and aka DJ, and I am here with my co-hosts, uh, Tyler, aka Sleepy Weasel,
Yeah.
Richard,
Yes.
aka Sir Kaiser,
Hello, hello.
Colin, aka Sir Reednick,
Howdy, boys.
and Aaron, aka No Mortal Z.
Good morning.
Perfect.
Good morning.
So, we just recently got the Twitch event over with. A large disappointment overall. And I'm pretty sure 99% of anybody who tuned into any Twitch streamer was complaining about literally everything. I'm pretty sure that
I was.
nobody wanted just charms and
I
just
did. What are
event
you
points. The event
I mean,
points.
the event points were great, but that was the main
Yeah.
selling point to tune in on Twitch, and that's not enough to keep people coming back.
Not even close. And the
No.
big problem is the only real incentive was the event points, and
Right.
that's
Exactly.
actually a godsend because everybody was looking for a way to get through this event faster because of how much they've put the brakes on literally every part of progression and blood bonds.
Blood bonds,
Everything.
the marketplace, everything has been pretty much changed. It's been a downgrade overall, in my opinion, in an overall sense. I mean, the freaking new hunter wasn't even available on the collector's edition or whatever. Like,
No.
no discount for him, and
Not at first.
and,
They've
and
eventually.
everybody is saying, oh, they made a mistake. I don't think so. I have a feeling it was intentional, and they were just testing the waters. So
It's hard to say. I mean,
Well, either way with that, this is something that we should all probably pay more attention to. All the streamers have discount codes that anytime anything happens, it gets an even harder discount. So we just gotta. I would just say just start going to the Crytek store to buy all our DLC and shit because you can get
Yeah,
it way
we're gonna
cheaper
have
than
to
anywhere
now.
else.
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, we're
Well,
gonna
you've
have
been
to.
able to get it cheaper than anywhere else through that.
Well, it was just easier to do it all in one place with the market, but yeah,
Yeah. Well,
it is what it is.
and obviously, we're all kind of pointing our fingers over at David Fifield because he is the new director for Hunt Showdown, the new direction it's actually going in, and he took part in Halo Infinite. He took, which is already on a really raunchy track record, if we're being honest. And but he actually had a lot of games that I did care about, such as Modern Warfare 3, which was the less popular option, no doubt, but Black Ops 2, that one was wildly successful. And so a lot of questions are raised mostly about why he's taking away so much of the economy at once as opposed to maybe a slower progression. Because I understand.
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that he also worked on the Marvel Avengers game, which kind of has similar problems.
Right, and it seems like all of that really took place right near 2020 when he was running those specific projects. But a lot of games actually are starting to take that approach. So I'm not really surprised. But I kind of agree with a lot of the community where it's not necessarily a free-to-play game, so it's difficult to justify what's happening
Right.
overall.
But it is a discounted game.
Yeah, heavily discounted a lot.
$30, I think, is the normal price.
I think
it's
free-to-play
40.
might be their goal. I think it might realistically be their goal with how they are approaching all of this because
Yeah, let's copy Fortnite.
yeah, they
Well,
constantly
Halo
go ahead.
Infinite, you mean?
Let's copy
let's
every
copy
other game
Fortnite.
doing it right now. Because Fortnite was the one that started it when they
Yep.
went free to play for their battle royale, and then everybody like the money that they made. Like I don't know what it is about the Fortnite formula, but the money that they made off of doing just skins and stuff is so absolutely insane that every other company just wants to try their hand at it, but nobody really knows
How to do it
Why
right.
it
I don't
works.
even know. Yeah,
No.
I don't even know how Fortnite fucking does it. Like, I get that they get big names, but that big names aren't enough to just keep people coming and paying for skins, you know?
Right, and
Mhm.
nobody really looks behind the scenes as much as they seem to think. I mean, especially not casual gamers. Nobody's paying attention to who the hell this guy even is. I mean, he seems to be doing an all right job for the most part, but especially with the
Right.
hit towards blood bond earnings, even after match, even with enemy kills, I think that should be rewarded specifically because I think it's okay to take away from maybe, say, small other things like the amount of monsters killed, but I think bounties and hunters need to be rewarded a little more, not just in terms of KD.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going
That's
to
what this
affect.
game's. That's what this whole game's about.
Right,
So,
and
It was okay to remove blood bonds from things like the getting, God, what was it, respecking and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like it was okay to change up that, but then it was kind of like taken out completely, so it wasn't circulating in the whole aspect of it all was their goal, but effectively I think it just made it, like you said, more like the free to play model.
Well,
Right.
with that change though, they also introduced a bunch of other changes that didn't
Mhm.
really gel too well with a lot of people, like taking away blood bond gain in general. The only way you could get it is through the Dark Tribute now, or
Mhm.
through, well, obviously
Like
you pay
the
for it
champs.
and you
weeklies.
just, yeah, it's just weeklies and fucking Dark Tribute, which is like you have a chance to get it and you don't have a chance to get that much. Whereas
Mhm.
before, like, okay, you get 100 level 50, you get three blood bonds. You get a couple kills in a game, you get a max of like 3 or 4 blood bonds. So it's like that. The progression was really slow, but if you played the game enough, like
Mhm.
you actually
You were
earned a
rewarded.
decent
You're
amount.
Yeah.
consistently
rewarded.
getting some more blood bonds over time.
Right.
But now it's just like you'll be sitting at the same number for a
Occasionally.
couple of weeks
Mhm.
if you
Easily.
don't get lucky at Dark Tribute.
Mhm.
I do think
I
that
s-
they. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to add to that, saying that I feel that before I bought the battle pass with the blood bonds that I had saved up, um, I felt that I was earning more blood bonds after I bought the battle pass, but that could have been just coincidence.
That's because the battle pass gives you blood bonds.
Yeah.
I know it does, but like I started earning like 10 here, 10 there, and things like that, which wasn't in the battle pass, but I don't know. Just felt kind of off, if I'm being honest.
Well,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
understand that they need to take a more monetary approach. I kind of
Mhm.
expected them to be approaching more of
Oh, of
the
course. Yeah.
where we need to be purchasing more blood bonds because it was way too easy. But the rebound is not there. I
It's
mean,
the opposite problem.
right. That's what I'm saying. Is there's no rebound to earning blood bonds. It's weeklies, and even then, you only earn a finite amount, which is kind of
Mhm.
pathetic. It's kind of approaching levels like what was it, Star Wars Battlefront 2, with how long it took to grind just to get one major character. Even
I
maybe
mean,
not that
mobile
bad.
games do that. They put the limit on how much you can level up
Right.
daily
Right.
type of thing.
Yeah.
But the economy, I mean, it remains to be seen. There's enough people complaining about it. There's too many people complaining about the gameplay to realistically worry too much about the monetary. I think everybody's forgetting about it. It's like politics. But
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
but honestly, it's one thing that I keep seeing again and again and again. Necromancer. It seems to be the bane of the whole community. I
Jeez.
actually haven't gone in depth with you guys specifically about it, so this will be interesting for us to hash out because I don't think I've ever seen so many. I wouldn't say whiners, maybe just critics of the
Yeah.
trade itself.
I mean, I don't like it. I personally, I never use it, even if I have it, like unless I'm using it in team fights, like I'm getting you guys up while I'm in a tight spot,
Well,
to get the jump on
Yeah.
somebody. But the whole self revive aspect is
That's the one that's
and
being
I'm
complained about.
assuming
Yeah.
that's what you're. Yeah, exactly. I was assuming that's what you were getting
Okay.
at. It's just I hate it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Because this game like is all about high risk and high reward, and I feel like that kind of changes it in a way that just makes it to where like because if you have necro, they're just gonna camp your body and just kill you over and over because that eliminates one problem. That's what we do. That's what everybody else does because we don't want to get blindsided. But
So
the
are you
oh,
more on
sorry.
the? No, it's fine. Are you more on the other side that you don't like being the person targeted because you have it, or you don't like people who have it?
I don't like people who have it, honestly.
Okay,
Well,
that's
okay,
the normal
so
complaint.
a lot of the times people they have it and so they figure they have to use it. So not necessarily everybody who uses it is that way, but
Right.
I just don't think that it really belongs here in this game because in this game when you're dead, and especially if you're solo, like you lose that character. And I think a lot of people like use that to KD farm a lot too, or mess with their MMR. Like they'll keep reviving so people can keep killing them to lower their MMR and stuff. Like I just think it kind of brings a whole sleuth of problems into the bag. So that's just my opinion, though.
You actually nailed it right on the head when you said MMR drop. That was actually
Yeah.
one that was brought up by a lot of streamers as well. Is the smaller things that aren't really taken into account is how much it's abused at high levels, or rather high to get to low levels. And I mean, it's pretty commonly seen. We'll get players with much more skill than us who are constantly like 3 stars, and you're like, how in the hell are you even down here? And he'll have 3 stars, we'll have like 4 or 5 or 3 even, and then he just wipes the floor with us, and we're like, well, that was unexpected. But
yeah,
and
Almost
another
every game has something like that now too. It's making the game feel a lot less fun. You're not fighting people who are the same skill level, or even then, like even if they're above or below you, like just having the slight edge or slight fucking knock on it, like it's people coming in from a way higher skill level and then dropping down to us and just wiping the floor with us. It just I don't know. It feels like it wouldn't be fun on their end either. You know?
right.
Yeah, but all they care about is their KD and stuff. So
Some people like to pick on the weak.
But I'm baby. They need to take care of us.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So my take on it, I guess my take on Necro is like the self revive definitely has lots of issues. The trait itself as the basic version, like reviving your partners and stuff, is totally fine. It's an interesting tactic to use. I think they should really nerf the self revive if they want to keep it in. I would limit the times that they can revive. I think it should be like 1 or 2, maybe.
Well,
Not until you lose all your health chunks. I think that's stupid, but that's my opinion.
It's actually pretty widely agreed upon too. Like a lot of the things you guys are saying are actually what is repeated. So something inevitably has to happen to this trait. It's a fact because there's no way they're leaving it in this state and keeping the community at arms. And I personally don't have a huge issue with it. I don't think it's really a troubling trait. It's more so how it affects the wide amount of gameplay. Like people are obviously going to have to camp that body. They're going to have to make sure that they're dead, and that's constantly. It slows down everything. You know, you can't make your way to the boss because that solo needs to be burned out. You need to make sure he doesn't shoot you in the back, and it's boring for the solo. It's boring for you.
Yeah.
You know, that's my issue, and I agree.
100%.
It's just too many compensations need to be made, and I guess why Necro works in teams and not in solos, and why it's become so controversial is because in Necro teams, it's typically used aggressively. It's typically which is kind of what the solo is doing, but it feels less cheesed. Like it feels less sudden because he's got teammates, and if they get that one Necro play, it just doesn't feel. I can't really explain it. It just doesn't quite feel the same.
I guess
Even
I
though
could
it
kind of
is.
elaborate on that. with the feeling, when I see like a solo like reviving multiple times, like you said, you have to guard that body. So if you don't know it's a solo, then it's gonna go and sideswipe you, and you have no idea. Whereas like with the team, you can kind of hear like cues from their
You can hear them.
teammates in
Yeah.
different areas, and then you actually hear the kind of the necro kind of like
The sound, yeah. Yeah, and you can
the sound exactly. There's that cue. Whereas like a self revive, it's just like literally just random, and then all of a sudden they're just like coming to hunt you down and stuff like that.
Yeah. And,
Whereas
well,
it's like it's an advantage thing as a team.
well, and
Right.
you can stop the person doing it. You can't stop a solo from clicking revive necessarily.
Yep. And
Which
sometimes I feel it was really janky when you're trying to kill the solo as
it
they're
can.
like standing up, but
I
that's
definitely
also game mechanics.
I definitely feel like they're at a heavy disadvantage. I don't think I've ever come across a point where the solo was like, haha, gotcha. But at the same time, it's so unpredictable that it is. That's kind of what's got people up in arms. Just they like semi predictability. I feel because kind of saying out loud, you know, I really don't see a reason why it should be imbalanced, but the gameplay seems to say otherwise. You know, especially in their skilled hands. Yeah. Because I think the major issue might be realistically the skill gap, because the solo player is always going to get an MMR advantage, and so he's going to get players that are realistically worse than
Yeah,
him.
he's the better player.
Yeah, and that's the problem is everybody is in 3 and 4 star. Everybody, you know,
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
and that's where
Okay.
it continues to kind of cause problems, because I rarely see the lower MMRs even complaining about it. But I'm shocked that the hatred hasn't even died down. I mean, people were even okay with death cheat for what it was worth, you know, until people got sick of it. But at the same time, you know, so many people jokes like, "Oh, I want to keep my OP hunter," but they're not okay with the one OP hunter kicking their ass. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I still prefer death cheat over self res.
yeah, I agree.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I
I
definitely
only
think.
say that in the fact that they still have to spend money to bring back other, all their weapons and stuff. I don't really care about
Right.
traits because traits aren't gonna be the be all end all at the end of the day. It's always gonna be
I'm
your gun
I
I
feel
skill.
like traits
probably
have the advantage.
I would go with DJ on this one actually, because I feel that Death Sheet is kind of repetitive. You're bringing that same person that you've like developed, and they have all these traits that kind of like it doesn't bring in that whole like here's a new hunter entering the bayou and hunting down all these things. Each iteration, like each match, feels like it's supposed to be something new.
And then that's
Yeah,
kind of
I get
okay.
Like
that.
you escape type of thing.
Yeah, I get it for the sake
Mhm.
of it. It's just
I
at
don't
the end of
really
the day,
like
I
either.
personally don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really
I
like
understand that.
either, but like if I had to pick one, which I think was the question, obviously it'd be Death Cheat. So
Yeah.
Which is surprising because it almost
Hmm.
defeats the purpose of this game to be
right, exactly, to
Yeah.
die.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess
Anyway,
Whereas like
I think that's what we were
with
saying
the self
earlier.
revive.
But
Yeah,
it's interesting, and that's why that we've already proven why this pursues, why this continues to be a big
big
arguing
topic
point.
of
And
debate. Yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, you know, but there is actually one thing that I wanted to specifically talk about, because we are nearing the end, about less than 3 weeks of the event left, but one of the guns, the major selling points of this event, not that it's not fun, but that it's not necessarily competitive, which is strange to me, is the Uppermat. And I have a couple of screenshots that I posted, and it shows kind of why it's not even competitive with the Uppercut, which is a single slot. Also, quick fun fact that I did not notice until somebody pointed it out: it has a single-handed melee attack, even though it is a double-handed weapon. And not only does it have a single-handed melee attack, it also has just as much sway as an uppercut in 2 hands. Why? That
Well,
even a Mosin Obris has less sway.
Doesn't an Obrez, like, isn't that, don't they hit them with a one hand when they like wheel it up?
I'm not actually sure. I think so, but it's like
It's the one with the blunt end.
it's an
that
identical
one.
animation to other pistols, which is kind of surprising because, as somebody
Mhm.
pointed out, you could. This probably wouldn't be a good idea if you shot the gun, but you could wield it by the barrel and bring down the butt of the gun like a club, kind of like the Lamat carbine does.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is, I mean, in its own family. But it's just an odd melee animation. That's not necessarily where my quarrels are with the gun. My quarrel with the gun is how it has less damage than the uppercut. It has 120 as opposed to 126. Why does that matter? If somebody's missing a small bar, the uppercut's going to kill him. The Uppermat won't. And is that always relevant? No. But if we're talking about competitive edge, that's something to be compared to. And not only that, it has 112 meter headshot range, whereas the uppercut has 115. Uppermat has a longer barrel. What's going on here? That's not just 3 meters ain't really, everything, but that is a competitive edge, and that's just completely arguable. If we're
Well,
talking,
especially with how much it costs, how
Yeah.
hard it's going to be to get, how
how uppercut can be fanned and the Uppermat can't. That might
right.
seem like a silly
It's
arguing point.
no, I see what you're getting at with it. I think most people's arguments in favor of the Uppermat's going to be, well, it has a shotgun shell in it, but
Exactly, and it
wh-
has
which
9 rounds.
yeah, which is, it can be huge, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to compare that to an uppercut when it's obviously trying to be comparable to the uppercut.
I will say the shot is a little bit faster than an uppercut.
It is, yeah, that's true. The fire rate does feel a bit faster.
It is slightly faster at
Mhm.
0.3 seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly 0.3. And I agree. I'm only arguing for the sake of how much that gun costs, how many slots it takes. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm
How
trying.
much does it cost?
Right.
It costs roughly like 400
I
and
thought it was like 500.
30. Is it
And what about
500?
the
It might be
uppercut?
5.
It might be 5 something.
The uppercut is
I could be wrong. But
approximately 430 or something. I actually should pay
Okay.
more attention to the prices, but a lot of
never
people
do.
aren't necessarily deterred by the prices since most people
Yeah.
don't prestige, which,
Mhm.
and so,
The
right,
Uppermat's
well,
440.
440.
440.
So,
Okay.
and the uppercut is
Yeah.
very close to that. And I'm just
Yeah.
saying, unless you have, like, let's say you have a new hunter and you have a single slot where you're taking an uppercut every time, because then you're going to run a rifle and it's going to be a lot more competitive. It doesn't matter if you play for fun, right? Then you wouldn't necessarily be running a lot of the guns. But that's kind of one topic we were talking about with the Nagant silencer and the regular Nagant. And
Right.
eventually guns drop off. Well, if the Uppermat was supposed to stay like the drilling, because the drilling's completely competitive, it's just not holding its weight.
Yeah.
Because even the
It's-
Lamat. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it kind of is like how it was in the last event when they added the Springfield. Like, obviously the Springfield was the best.
The
And
Crag.
yeah, the Crag. Yeah, sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. And then, but I mean, the other weapons, people still liked them. Like, I really enjoy the Lamat carbine, which I think that's what you were about to get into.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that one actually is surprisingly competitive. And if we're talking about the shotgun, well, the shotgun on the Lamat carbine is immediately better because it's a considered long
Yeah.
barreled. And if you take slugs, the carbine already immediately has a range advantage because admittedly slugs on an Uppermat are going to be pretty okay.
Mhm.
But
So when do we think that the Uppermat will be unlocked in the line?
most likely last.
After the carbine?
I would bet, honestly. Just because
Yeah.
I think they believe it's more powerful.
I have actually never unlocked the carbine because it takes so much work on the Lamat. So
I also never
Well,
use a Lamat, so I
Precisely.
unlock it once every 6
Yeah.
prestiges.
And that's, I guess, another argument, uppercut versus the Uppermat, is that you can actually probably unlock the uppercut faster because the conversion is a very solid pistol, probably the
it's-
best in the game.
Yeah, it's probably the most balanced. Yeah, exactly.
And this is just more of an interesting talking point. Not more or
course.
less, anybody can play whatever the hell they want. But
Right.
I don't think it hit the intended audience. I mean, it is the big iron on his hip now. You can officially play that song every time you rock an Uppermat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with this event, I've used the Uppermat way more than I've used the uppercut, and actually killed more with it. But since I suck at the regular one, that
You'll probably never
can't
get it again
ever
after this
get
event.
it again. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's probably why you've been using it, is because this event, while it's available, you can just buy it out.
But I usually don't run it unless I have Quartermaster.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to
Mm-hmm.
do that as well. So
Right.
basically, the only real thing that the Uppermat has going for it, like on a competitive level, is how many rounds it has and that it can
The
shoot a
speed.
shotgun shell. Yeah,
And
the
the
speed
shotgun
will
shell.
actually make a difference too, yeah. So
On one subject that I do want to bring up, just for a tip, because this is actually surprisingly widely unknown, which I certainly didn't know it. Credit to Rexnor, because he's actually the YouTuber or Twitch streamer, realistically is what he mostly does, that even brought this up, is if you have dual pistols and you hold down the shoot button, I guess mouse button, it depends on who or where you're playing, you will fire only the right-handed pistol, but if you shoot and then shoot again, you will fire and hold the button, you will only fire the left pistol until it's empty. So you can actually use it to trick your enemy into thinking you have an empty pistol and then shoot them with the other one. It's kind of fascinating.
I have never heard of that. That is actually kind of crazy.
It's weird, especially with how popular dualies are too.
Yeah. When I have dualies, I miss all of my shots, but when they've got it 50 meters away, they'll headshot me first shot. I don't understand.
RNG is not my friend.
Yeah. RNG just has not been nice to us. So.
I've never raged harder than I have being headshot by a dualie at like 80 meters. Literally like the peak of the pistol sling.
You're a head magnet for dualies.
Oh yeah. I've straight up had to quit for a night because like I was so bewildered by how easily he headshot me. First shot too.
4 or 5 in a row, and you're just like, nah.
Yeah, just like no more hunt.
Out of all of us, who uses dualies actually? Like more consistently?
Not that much anymore.
Yeah.
I still use them pretty frequently.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Colin does. I don't know how does it feel when you use them? Because I just stopped using dualies. Like, does it feel consistent or
garbage?
Random.
I mean, from what I've noticed recently, like when I first started playing dualies were the way to go. Like I did really well a couple months back. But as things have progressed, I feel like dual wielding pistols has just gotten way like the RNG with that is just worse. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't had a great time doing it, but like if you use the officer, it's the best dually pistol in my opinion because there's no recoil.
Oh, okay.
If I'm that close, usually I'll just go up to them and knife their ass. So
yeah.
Which not enough people do.
No,
dude, it's an adrenaline rush. You should just always do the knife or some melee.
People who are looking to add something to their table of like tricks up their sleeves, you got to do melee. Like people do not expect that. It's very surprising when somebody just starts running at you.
Melee with a sharp object. Don't just hit them with your guns.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, unless it's a brawler or something. Like something that's meant to.
Nah, go fucking bonkers. Bring the knuckles and chase them down. They're more scared of that shit because they're like, oh my god, look at him.
Yeah, that is pretty jarring though. Like I certainly have panicked a lot when people mix it up and like I think they're gonna come out with a gun and I'm like, oh, I can counter that, and then they just run at me. It's just like, whoa.
Or to the random man who ran at me with a fucking shovel. That was one hell of a death experience.
Oh, funny enough, Richard and I were doing some testing in the shooting range. The shovel has been known as like a meme weapon, but it's like one of the only weapons that if you have like tomahawk or whatever, when you can throw those weapons, the shovel will kill somebody in one hit no matter where you hit them. It's
That
freaking
does-
Even if it's
awesome.
the arm.
Even
makes
if it's the
sense.
arm. Yeah, it's so
Yep.
Praise the
funny.
short.
Yep.
Didn't somebody say the pitchfork doesn't though?
The pitchfork does
Yeah,
not.
we tested that.
What?
Yeah, we tested
We did
that.
test that.
That doesn't make any sense then.
I know it
Exactly.
doesn't. It's like literally impaling you.
Yeah.
Nothing about this game makes any sense, man. If I'm being
It's
honest.
okay though. I mean,
No.
I'm sure there's a balancing reason, but it's just
It
funny.
could have been completely overlooked. I mean, how
I
many
mean,
people are picking up a
who
goddamn
uses
pitchfork?
who really uses tomahawk realistically?
People who are trying to get that
I
achievement.
Streamers.
Streamers,
for that
yeah,
clip, man.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it makes for good
It's great.
videos. So yeah, it's definitely more of a meme than anything. But whoever wants to, or whoever can use that knowledge that the shovel will kill somebody in one hit, please do it. I want to see
Tomahawk
more of it.
1v1 me.
Yeah. And you can also,
The
and
real
I'm
one,
sure a
dude.
lot of people do know this, we did test it. You can shoot pretty much any object that's being
Yeah.
thrown at you.
Yeah. Which
Like
makes
including
sense.
the tomahawk ones. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and a lot of people
Especially
probably
for
know
this
that.
type
But
of game where you can
Does that actually knock it
wall
out of the air?
bang.
it does, yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Oh shit!
Nuts,
That
what the heck?
that
Did we
I've never
try
heard.
hitting it out of the air like melee?
We haven't tried that. I just shot it with like a pistol. Last
And
time we
it
tried
like
it,
literally
so-
just fell.
Yeah,
But
it just
the
fell.
pitchfork is the hardest one to
Shoot.
get
Yeah.
any
Fascinating.
like speed on it or anything. Like that one literally just floats in the air.
Yeah.
It looks like crap if I'm not gonna
Yeah, but you
lie.
feel like you're freaking Aquaman or something, like throwing a freaking like trident or whatever. Like, it's kind of cool.
That's
Did you
wild.
Lake Aquaman?
Yeah. The Bayou Man.
The Bayou Man. There you
Yeah.
go.
Ah, you man.
He's
The Bayou
probably
Swamp
like
move.
the skinned or something like that. That's the Bayou
Yeah.
Aquaman.
The fucking Bayou Swamp Mermaid or some shit.
There's
It's
the
like
next
half
skin.
alligator.
There you go, Crytek. I'll even draw you a picture for it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll draw one too.
The Bayou Aquaman.
Make the fucking hill or is his name Hillbilly? Make Hillbilly the one.
The redneck or
A redneck.
yeah,
Give him, like, his
yeah.
golden
You know what that
locks.
means? That means there's room for a skin called Hillbilly. Oh, dude. The potential there.
Ooh.
Potential.
I
It's
don't
gonna
know,
be
they
the
might not
opposite of the
want
redneck. He's still gonna be in overalls, but he's gonna be like a twig. And
Like a meth
Gangly.
addict.
yeah,
He's
That
have
actually
his
He's
be
gonna
awesome.
have
Like,
like
roll.
one
yeah.
one of his overall like his pant legs rolled up and the other one's like all the way down and ripped.
Yes.
That'd be great. Skin idea.
There you go.
Honestly. Also,
Seriously,
hello,
I would
random
draw
viewer.
that.
All right. And one thing too. Boss types is also being discussed again. And I
Okay.
you know, it's kind of one thing that I've been thinking about because there's bound to be another boss coming very soon because I know they're already working on another map. But something akin to the assassin, but different. Something with underlings, even roaming outside of the boss lair, which we already want them out of the boss lair.
Are we
discussed
talking
that.
about a wild target or a boss?
No, like a boss, like if you
Okay.
kill the underlings, maybe it will. Oh, thank you for the follow. But it would be something like that. Maybe it would be easier to kill the boss if you
kill the underlings.
exactly. But it would be a pain in the neck. You wouldn't be able to boss rush. So there would be kind of a balance there. I don't know, but it.
It would certainly mix things up, especially if it is roaming, where people are
Or even if it
actively
could,
outside.
even if it
in
could
a small
constantly.
area.
Right, or if it could do something kind of akin to what Scrapbig does, except not temporary, where he has crows everywhere. If it could make zombies reappear out of like
The
like
ground or whatever.
exactly like it spawns like the clues, and since the clues are in the lore are supposed to be like a portal to whatever it is, hell, they would rise from the
Right.
ground.
So
That would
what
be
type
interesting.
of
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
just to go along with that, what type of boss would this be? Like, what would it look like? Where would it have its origins from? Because we got, obviously, like you said, the assassin is just kind of like, it's like the
Right.
bug guy. You have the scrapbeak, which is the tattered,
Chicken
put
man.
together chicken man, I guess.
Well, every
And then the
boss
butcher, yeah.
has some kind of ailment that they deal.
Mhm.
I mean, Scrapbeak is
Exactly.
kind of indirectly bleeding, but it's not even consistent. So, and
Right.
that's kind of where I'm stuck. Is I had like a really good idea of what it would do, not necessarily a good idea of
Of what it would be.
Choke
Right.
boss.
Yeah, a choke boss makes you cough. Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It would be kind of a pain in the neck to fight because you'd be so loud, and if you're
And
not
you
paying
also
attention,
wouldn't have
Yeah.
your aim moving very good. Like,
well, we're
it's
already gonna
almost-
get in trouble since we said choke trip mines. So think of it like these guys just like choke bombs.
Yeah, choke me, daddy.
I'm just
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
just
think people
choke
utilize them
inspired.
enough.
What's that?
Jesus.
I don't think people utilize chokes enough. Like,
No, they
I
don't.
get that.
Doesn't seem like
I
it.
get
I pour one
the-
out for my homies.
I get the priority use for it is to just like put people out, but why not use it in an aggressive way? It's definitely helped me in a lot of
I
ways
do.
to be able to push in a lot easier.
Mhm.
Yeah, or even
because I've only been doing it in the last few months,
Or
and it
trap
helps out a lot.
a exit,
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
one that's especially good if you don't have something to burn their teammate. Just throw a choke bomb because then you have to know
Mhm.
when they're getting them up, or if they
I
necro
mean,
get them.
literally the other day, I was trying to, I think, res Tyler or shoot in the door, and I couldn't shoot straight because there was a freaking choke in the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
No, it was
it's
air.
a power it's a powerful tool that isn't really talked about a lot. So
Doesn't the choke bomb also stop flame and poison rounds?
hmm
I don't know. Does it stop a
Or-
flame bullet?
yes.
I don't.
It
Yes,
does. It
It
does.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
actually.
I
bonkers.
don't know about poison. We'll probably need to test that. I imagine it would.
I
But
think
it
would,
also
'cause it stops
stops.
a hive too.
Yeah, it stops hive bees, and that's huge.
So I think
yeah.
it works the same way for like a poison bolt or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, on the subject with the boss, though,
Yeah, why not a
were
cloud boss?
were you gonna say anything about the choke stage? Sorry, I heard you about to speak.
Oh no, I mostly commented on how choke on a boss is a fascinating idea because it could be something kind of not akin to like exactly like the smoker from Left 4 Dead 2, where it
Yeah.
emits the smoke cloud when it's hit, so it could
Right.
incentivize shooting as opposed to that. And so if you don't bring a silenced weapon, well, too bad. It's the smoker boss. You're gonna have to be a little off guard because you're constantly coughing and you don't.
Well, kind of like Racha, how it made it so you almost have to use like ammo. Like you don't,
Mhm.
you can't just melee everything with Racha.
Yeah,
Mostly.
Kind of
mostly. Yeah.
can. It's just kind of it's a learning
pain.
process.
It's
yeah.
a
Yeah.
pain.
Which is nice.
Yeah, no, I highly like how the boss fight plays out, but I kind of
Mhm.
think it's the same thing, kind of like what Richard was saying. Now people are starting to kind of agree because it's a shame that more wasn't implemented with the crocodile, like with
Exactly.
Raja, not coming up on land, attacking you, no land attacks.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think they were afraid of making it too easy, but it really takes away from the atmosphere and from
Or
Yeah.
leaning too much into the water.
Yeah, well, especially where almost nobody. I guess that was kind of their thing, is catching you off guard. You have to be in the water. Nobody wants to be in the water.
Yeah,
But
because it slows you
yeah.
down and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of making Rotjaw almost too.
He needs to
It's
be 10 times the size he is and 10 times the health.
It needs to
I-
have wings. It
Oh
needs
my
to be able
fucking
to
no.
shoot lightning bolts out of the sky, not just out of its body. It needs to.
He needs
I
to
don't know.
blow
I've got
some
nothing.
lightning breath out of its mouth.
Well, a lot of people are actually commenting about that too. How they want something that's very akin to the staggering effect that the lightning does from Rotjaw, like a jar that will splash that liquid lightning on the ground.
Yeah.
And cause not necessarily major damage, but it's disorienting, which I don't think it would make enough of a different
I feel that way
gameplay
too.
wise. I
Yeah,
Because
'cause-
literally you can just walk away from that when you're facing Rotjaw and be just fine.
yeah, it's honestly an underwhelming attack by Raja. It's not that it's not a spectacle, but it needs a buff. It needs to hurt you more.
Yeah.
It does
Probably,
nothing.
Yeah, I'd
'Cause
say
no,
that.
It's really cool to look at, but it's not necessarily anything that I'm afraid of. As a matter of fact, I think I'd be a lot more afraid of anybody tossing a hive bomb,
Hmm.
or hell, even the Hellfire. Hellfires are arguably the best throwable in the whole game. Maybe people will disagree, but it's instantaneous and it burns off so much freaking health immediately.
Well,
Burns off a bar.
Remember
We
when
need
you were
something
That'll
to
talking
compete
about?
there.
forever.
Yeah.
So remember when you were talking about the underlings of like a new boss or something like that?
Yeah.
Me and Tyler actually were talking about something with Rotjaw. Like he has, or not he, she has her eggs.
I was only messing with you that one time.
No, well, I'm more saying because I mentioned the eggs. So
Right.
a mother's usually going to protect her eggs. I don't know why she wouldn't, but whatever.
That would be fascinating.
But essentially, we have like mini Rotjaws that kind of like go around and like help her out and stuff like that, or even not even at the boss lair, but nearby.
Hmm. Yeah, and they're essentially like obviously not as powerful, and they're
But
fairly
they're
easy
cute
to
as
kill.
shit, though.
Yeah, they gotta make them super cute.
Anime
you got-
eyes and everything.
Yeah,
No.
anime eyes, ooh woo.
We need more skins, more Fortnite
Anime
skins.
skins in
Fuck.
Showdown before
We're already
anime
getting-
was even invented.
We're already detracting way too far from cowboys, man. We need something to bring
Yeah.
us back.
Well,
I'm-
yeah, but we Richard and I were just more talking about like with the
But
The
some
underlings
underlings of
aspect,
Rotjaw
yeah.
would be fun, and that's
Maybe
what
they
we
have
were
different-
talking about.
maybe they have
Yeah.
different like ability types. Like one of them,
Yeah, like a
has,
mini
fire,
version, and
yeah.
that's what making Rotjaw like bigger and bigger bad would make it
Yeah,
more worth it.
and that's probably never going to happen. They already
Probably.
clearly have a vision of what they
It would
want
be a
Rotjaw to
new
be,
wild
so-
target before something like that would happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they already designed and implemented Rotjaw in the way that they intended. They don't change
Exactly.
their bosses once they're made,
Exactly. They have a vision that they want to execute.
other than
so-
damage buffs. But
And one thing that I still can't believe I keep seeing, I don't know how people are still falling for this. Stay the hell away from the barrels. Just, especially when everybody is meleeing the torch grunt. It's holding fire.
I only run into them when you have traps. It's
Same.
not even the enemy.
Hate-seeking trap.
Gosh.
You smell it out and then you walk right on it, dude. Same.
People. Oh, there's a trap right here. I better run into it.
I'm the same
I
way, but
told
with
you. I know you did.
well, it's because like
I'm just a dumbass.
well, the
Yeah, I am.
blue outline for friendly traps is way too
It's
like
hard to see.
Yeah.
it's
I don't
practically
really care. I think
invisible
it's
still,
hilarious.
and so
Yeah,
a lot of
I think making it more visible to your teammates would probably be a good fix for that.
yes,
But then some people would argue, well, it's part of the game. It becomes part of the atmosphere, becomes part of the environment. And yeah, I can also understand that too. So I get both sides. But personally, when DJ places traps, I trip him and
Yep.
messes him up, messes me up, and it's just not fun. So, and that's
Well,
my fault. Not
and then
DJ
I
tripped
find
one
the
of my
enemy's traps.
last night.
What's that?
DJ tripped one of my traps last
Come
night.
on, man.
I'm
It's
a
like
little-
I'm placing a trap. I'm placing a trap. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Well, it's just. Oh man, it's so hard to check your feet in a game that constantly has verticality, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
you
true.
need to look up. Yeah.
yeah, even if it's a freaking flat building, you're just like, but what if they're above me? What if they're in the
Mhm.
trees? It's just-
Yep.
It's in the
it's-
tree.
Also, another huge tip that I could not believe I didn't think of because it's so obvious. Apparently, Tyler already knew how to do it. Ping a location, like ping right on it, and if there's a small penetratable wall right next to you, move behind it and shoot at that ping, and you may get a penetration shot. That's brilliant, and I witnessed Nino doing that.
Yeah, I do it all the time. That's why I get so many wall bangs. I'm not really good at this game, but I am really good at shooting people through walls for some reason.
It's that sound, man. Good ears.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also educated guesses of where they're going to be. If they're crouching, this is where their head's going to be. You know, a lot of it's that. And
I
oh,
had some good ones last night. Speaking of,
yeah, I've got some awesome ones. I still haven't showed you guys. But there's a big thing. If you don't want to get wall banged and you're hiding behind a wall, default wise on a keyboard, I don't know what it is on controller or whatever, you can actually like put your gun away kind of, so it doesn't clip through walls.
You
For
just
keyboard,
hold
it's
down the alternate weapon.
yeah, alternate weapons. Yeah, you
Mhm.
hold that button down and you kind of put it away. So if you are afraid of your gun clipping through a wall and that they can see you, do that. And because that's how I get a lot of headbangs too, is I see their barrel of their gun kind of
It's
swinging
peeking through
around,
the
like they're
door.
looking around. So I'm like, oh, so
Yeah.
their head's right here, and then I just shoot it. So
Or like that big overcoat hanging through the floor, and then you just kind of go, oh,
Yeah.
shoot right up at it.
yeah, that's a little harder to fix, but you know.
Right.
I
But
found
then-
one of those last night. I got it through
Don't bring a long
the floor
coat.
hit. I got it through the floor.
I was with you. That was crazy.
Flipping through the ground.
Yeah, you literally went, hey, Tyler, and I was like, what? And you were like, watch this. And you just look straight up and you shoot, and I just hear death. That was so funny. I wish I was recording that actually, but oh well.
One thing I want to do too, we may save it for a little later on, but I want us to do a whole YouTube video and record us doing a whole tier list of the legendary skins at some point. See how many people we piss off with our opinions.
Oh
Sounds
yeah,
good.
seriously.
Yes.
Because man,
You're not allowed to have opinions nowadays, so.
No, the amount of people that love red shirt though, man, I feel like y'all are lying. There's too many people that are
Gross.
like, "Oh, I want the guy with a giant target on his stomach." I get it. Haha, you're cheeky, bro.
I
Real
think
cute.
I don't know.
It's
When I-
too much of a meme. Like
It
they were
is.
trying too hard to be a meme, rather than
Yeah.
just being like, "Hey, this would be funny if I got this weird skin."
Although it was very scary that one time, or maybe it's happened more than once, when the red shirt squad comes rolling in with only melee weapons and they still wipe you out.
Oh my
That is
I
pretty
think
scary.
Hillbilly Squad, Redneck
That's-
Squad, man.
Yeah. Well,
No,
it's
Grandma
always
Squad,
That's
Grandma
that's
Squad.
mean. Oh, Grandma Squad's pretty
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's the best. So
well. The most surprising was when I witnessed canes, and they all had bomb lances.
God.
Fucking bomb lances, dude, and it scared the shit out of me. I killed 2 of them, and the last one charged me. So,
He's got those big buggy eyes staring.
yeah, he's
him
got the
down.
Yeah.
soulless eyes. Yeah.
Well, and
He looks like
It
he's
was-
taking a crap.
it was before his quote unquote nerf, so he was a lot darker, and they were running through the corn at like a sunset match, so it was a lot more daunting. And I'm like, oh my god,
What theme
Yeah,
music
that's
do you think was
scary.
playing?
what's that?
What theme music do you think was playing?
That's tough to say, man.
Definitely the
'cause I'm
Jaws theme.
The Jaws theme with bomb lance. That's accurate. Yeah, Benny Hill's for the redneck. So,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's really true.
but one thing I'm curious about, because Mama May, which I believe we brought up, wasn't she the last Halloween event?
I don't know
think
if
it
she's
was
the
Halloween.
last one. No, it was Halloween for sure.
No, because I swear Halloween was the headsman on the last one.
No,
Or
no,
is
no, no,
that the
no.
year
Headsman was before.
Yeah,
yes.
Headsman was before, and then Mama May came after, and then the year after Mama May came out, they had the event where they brought the Headsman back with the Executioner and stuff.
They need a pumpkin head
you
for
sure?
the next Halloween skin.
I'm
At least-
surprised.
At least I think that's what they did, because I've had Mama May for a while. I think it's been over a year, but I could also
I
be
don't think
wrong.
it's been that long, but
Yeah, she's definitely a Halloween skin though, no matter what. Because
Right.
I remember grinding. Well, okay, so I don't. Okay, when we got Mama May, actually, I think there was no Halloween event. It was just like one of those quest line things that you had to do.
I think that's right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Well, it's one of those things where I was gonna be kind of contemplative as to what kind of skin they might not even do a hunter skin, considering what Fifield's been doing. I don't know
Yes.
though, unless it's
Yeah.
behind a huge
Stupid
paywall.
charms. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna make us charms. So
And I bet you anything, it's going to be more gimmicky nonsense in the lore that nobody really cares about. I mean, not that I exactly just want pumpkins hanging from the guns, but come on, at least have a little fun. You know, I don't want Ewing's horn or whatever the fuck for 15,000 points to grind at the end of an event where I got everything I care about. That's just a bonus, I guess, if I can even call it that.
yeah.
It's such an ugly little. I don't know. They think it's like entrancing or like it's voodoo, and most people just don't care, man. It's big and ugly. Like, stop.
And it's Well, for me, it's distracting. And
Hmm.
you don't even see it very well while it's on your gun.
Well, you know. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was pretty much done. I just don't like charms. That's just a very personal opinion of me. I've never liked charms in games, and
Me neither. I never
It
used
doesn't
it.
add anything to the gameplay.
yeah. Which
Well-
I mean, it shouldn't, because then people would
Well,
run like one specific
thing
charm
is-
because it gives you this buff or something, So
Well, at least
Yeah.
with a gun skin, it's like you see this whole gun and you're using that gun.
right.
Versus a
Mhm.
charm is hanging on. It's like a little, I don't know, a ball sack.
Yeah.
Goddamn, you had to go there, didn't you?
It just
Yeah.
doesn't feel like anything extra.
yeah.
Not saying
Well,
a ball sack is not extra, but you know.
Well, one.
Well,
The
tickle my
goddamn truck
balls a little
testicles.
bit.
That's all I'm thinking of now. But two ideas that I actually think are pretty cool that could replace that entire system. Well, not replace. It's not going anywhere. But people might actually care about. One is like cowboy hats. Somebody actually brought that up in Reddit, and that was a fantastic idea. I'm like changeable hats. I mean, it's
Yeehaw, partner.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
well, even if it was attachable to certain legendaries, it would still be kind of funny and awesome to mess around
Yeah.
with.
So let me get this straight. We're replacing testicles with cowboy hats.
Yes, because that's where the real testicles are, is in your
Yeah.
cowboy hat.
Hell yeah.
That's where your cojones
Partner.
are. Yep.
Partner.
Maybe the real testicles are the friends we made along the way.
Wow, that is so profound.
So deep,
Wow,
man.
I'm crying.
Just like the place behind the testicles.
Oh God, we're
Alright, moving
going
on.
down some
Moving
dark.
Oh.
It's dark in
Showdown
there. You're
more
right.
like Hunt Slowdown, am I right?
Slow down this conversation before he enters uncharted territory.
Yeah.
But
We're already down there.
yeah.
well,
What?
but I
Pun
thought that was a
intended.
fantastic idea with the cowboy hats. But even like maybe markings on your gun or something, anything that is, it's
Not
Engraving.
stupid.
Something
Yeah.
more discernible, like this is my gun.
that's not in the fucking way, but you can still see it, and it's a mark of
Yeah.
some kind, like a little kill count for the amount of times you've killed a hunter before that weapon was dropped. I mean, granted,
Oh.
that could get buggy quick if there's a cheater.
Yeah.
By the way, Crytek, you really should add some stats into your stuff where you can pull up like how many hunters you've killed with this type of gun, how many hunters have you killed with this type of melee
Oh.
weapon,
That's
That
a
would
good
be
idea.
kind
Break
of
it
cool.
down even more.
Yeah, just to see like,
Hmm.
oh, this is where I'm trending, where I'm better at. Oh, this is where I need to work on. So that's just a
Yeah.
quick little thing that I think that they should do.
Well,
I don't
they're
know
talk-
how realistic that is where it's not implemented if it's the game has already been keeping track of what we've done, but I don't know, just something to think about.
I like that idea a lot, and they're even implementing 2D game or 2D replay. I mean, where it's basically just what your screen recorded. So it's not like Halo 3's where you could zoom out and travel around.
Right.
So at least there's that, so people can more easily save their gameplays
Yeah.
and not have to record
No,
everything.
that's great actually. I really like that. Yeah, keep at that if that's what they're working on. So I like
No,
that.
right now they're working on more charms for Halloween. I bet anything.
As long as I get another cool Halloween skin, I'm okay. But yeah,
At least
you're
for
not going to.
I
No.
know. I know.
and nobody's gonna get what's he called in the Halloween event, even though they've been begging
Plague
for
Doctor?
it. Yeah.
Mr. Doctor. Yeah.
Nope, they're keeping him. And
I mean,
and
I get it.
But he's like the
Like-
only one
I
that
get
they're
it.
trying to make super exclusive, which is dumb.
I mean,
No.
after the grinding that Aaron and DJ had done to get that character, they definitely should have something to
mean,
show for
well,
that.
Light
I
the
don't
Shadows
know,
is
it was like an early access game at that point. At least it
Yeah,
felt
that's
like
kind of.
true.
So-
Yeah.
Well,
It
Light
wasn't
the
sharing,
Shadows
yeah.
specifically has been being brought up a lot because a lot of people want the natives back and they want the tomahawk
That was
back.
a good event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
want
a great
the
event.
tomahawk. I want
That
the
was like
natives.
honestly
Yeah.
like the way that event felt and implemented so many different things. That's a great event.
Yeah, when the hunting bow even arrived, and that
Exactly.
thing changed gameplay altogether. That was actually one thing I
Mhm.
was going to bring up against the Uppermat is how you could take a hunting bow instead, which is infinitely more useful in my humble opinion.
Oh, I love
suck
the.
with it, so I
I
can't.
love the
love
bow.
the bow, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Especially since it has a potential to one shot with even body, so
Yep.
I'd rather go
right.
up to you and just
Adding to the
shove a shotgun in your face, but whatever.
adding to the mix it up with the melee weapon. One of our friends, his favorite loadout is an axe and a bow. He hits you with the bow. You're running away to try to stop the bleeding and hide. He just runs after you with the axe, and like you can't
Beautiful.
do anything. It's great. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Jeez.
that is dirty. Or
Yeah.
like a clip I saw of Nino. This shit made me laugh so hard. But he threw a flash bomb, whipped out his danger, and just punching him in the face with a light melee attack. This teammate just goes, "He's not a punching bag."
Oh man,
That's so good.
you're not supposed to post real murders on Twitch. You know,
Yeah,
my God.
I never want to be in those disrespect clips, man. I know I will be one day though, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
sad.
Oh man, me too. Great stuff though. Great stuff.
It
Made me
is.
laugh.
I wish I was capable of memeing that hard. Every time I try, man, I die.
You
Leave
gotta.
that to the experts.
Yeah, you gotta make room for them. So
Well, it's what the people that have been playing. Literally, they post every time they've been playing like 8,000 plus hours. I would go and lose my mind if I played a game that long.
If I don't play
Yeah.
like an imbecile, I'm not playing right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another good point too. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to have fun with your friends.
Fun.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
exactly.
Well, I like what somebody said. They said if you haven't shot your friend at the end of the match when you're extracting, are you really friends?
Yeah, exactly. and yes, we have all shot each other. We've flashed each other. We've lit each other
Remember
on fire.
the double
Tyler
headshot?
straight up killed me at the end of a round.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys killed me yesterday at the end of the
Yeah, we did.
Well, it's hard to tell when you don't vocalize, hey, I've got this
My-
much health left.
My
Yeah.
favorite is when me and Tyler were looking at DJ, and I think he walked away or something like that. And
No, I
then
was
we
there.
just had, I don't know, but like we had the same exact idea. I was like lining up a headshot,
And I
then
was-
Tyler was just doing something.
I was throwing
then-
a tomahawk at his head just for fun.
And then you throw it,
Yeah.
and then I shoot, and then all of a sudden he's down. It's like,
With
that
less than a
wasn't
second
supposed to
spare.
happen.
Yeah, which that did way more damage than I think it was actually supposed to, which made it even funnier.
Yeah, it was just out of nowhere, and that was hilarious. So
One
It was
thing
just
I
the wavelength we were on. It was just
yeah.
great.
Oh, good
real
times.
quick, if you guys can remember, because this is actually one that I want to bring up, and it's kind
already
of
forgot.
changing.
Me too.
Well,
Well?
it's one thing specifically that I wanted to bring up in the other podcast, but we never got to was most memorable kill, and I'll go first, but because it's constantly changing. But this one I still remember. Dude was running through the trees, had to have been over 100 meters away, and I took a shot and I missed, and I couldn't see anything, and it was on the Desal map, and I shot into the leaves and a headshot, just out of nowhere. We even won that match too, and I was like, oh my god, what?
Yeah, that
I'll never get over the euphoria of just a headshot that I can't
Yeah,
even see.
that I imagine felt like you're just like, you know what? I am God. I can't do everything. Yeah.
What was yours, Ty? Can you recall?
I mean, like you said, it's constantly changing. There's so many like cool, because I'm such a good player. No, there's just a lot of like cool instances that may have happened. But the most recent one, I actually had it recording. Hopefully we can clip that at some point. Was when Aaron and I, it was just the two of us. We were on a solo contract, and we wiped out the whole lobby by the end. But at the end, we were just chasing this one guy just over and over, and we kept dying and getting each other up, and I finally just lined up that good shot and just got him, and it just was very satisfying to me, because it's like, yeah, all of that work was for something. We actually won. We, after like 20 minutes of chasing this guy, like he was a slippery snake. He was good. But that was just such a good feeling. And I think you were there actually spectating us, DJ.
I might have been.
Yeah,
it's hard because some of them are so similar, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's kind of why I tried to ask.
No, that one was just us, but we showed them after.
No, I think DJ was in our Discord just.
Oh wait,
hanging out. I think.
Are you talking about your drilling carry?
Yeah, it was with the drilling.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good time. And especially while you were spectating me, I was hiding and healing, and I see the bullet like piercing the walls, like pew, 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 getting like closer to me, and I'm just like, oh gosh. And I think that was when all two of his teammates were still alive. So, but that was a good clip, and again, I would like to share that at some point. So,
hell yeah. Because we definitely need to start clipping these so we can show examples on the YouTube that people can reflect on.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Let's go with Aaron.
I'm still trying to think of mine.
I have one.
I have so many that I just can't remember.
I got it if you guys aren't ready.
Well, sure. Richard, is it the one I'm thinking of? Is it the one where I was there?
You were there. You were my teammate. Yeah.
Was it the LaBelle?
Yep.
Ooh.
So I guess there's a few reasons why this one was more memorable for me, is because this was at the time where I still had that old PC, and I was I think I got the settings adjusted right point where it was actually playable, and then the hunt team had made it so it was actually running pretty smoothly that night. And this was, I think, the day before I got the new PC. And before I put it down for retirement, I think we had killed a couple with I had my LaBelle, and I think you might have had a LaBelle. Do you remember that?
I had a Berthier.
You had a Berthier. Okay. But we were across that log area, that log compound that kind of goes up into the boss lair, and we'd gone north and attacked some people.
You shot from Alice, or was it Alice? I think it was Alice into Lock Bay docks, and you aimed at a random fucking point on the wall and got a headshot. If you weren't reported for cheating, I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
The thing is, that was after we had gotten those two people, because we moved north because we were going to get caught off and everyone was going to swarm us. And then we got that team, and then that's where that shot came in. And I was like, I think that was a kill, because it was like far away and just like impossible to tell. And then we move in, and then you like stick your face into like a doorway, and then you get blasted, and then I just like get the guy and then like res you and be like, you're good. And then we go to the next wall and then kill some other ones and whatnot. And I think while this is all going on, like I think you were basically my body armor the whole time. And then I think you had gotten downed, and then wasn't there like one last guy just around the corner somewhere?
It's hard to remember because that thing trumped everything else. That shot, I couldn't get over it.
Oh my god! But then after that, like the boss is still active and whatnot.
Yeah,
I think I had gotten the last person in the area. And I kept continually like scanning, and my heart was still pounding and whatnot. And then you were dead, and I was just working on the boss, leaving, and I was like, okay, I don't want to die. Constantly checking for people. And then I finally get the boss after like 5 minutes because I'm still in the heat of it. And then turns out the lobby was cleared already, as you had told me. And then I finally grabbed the bounty, and then I grabbed you, and then we get to like this the screen after we extract. Turns out I had like 7 kills.
Oh my gosh.
That was the most insane I've ever done, and the greatest part about it was on that old PC.
And controller.
And
controller. We forgot to mention that. Controller
That's
player.
right.
Fucking
I play
headshots.
controller on PC. Get wrecked, son. 1v1 me, bro.
But only if you have a controller.
Only if you have a control. That's not fair. Throw your mouse out. I'm kidding. I'll wreck your shit, buddy. Buddy, old pal.
I'll just interject with another story with you, Richard. It's a much shorter one. We call Richard the Clutch Master a lot.
Oh my god.
Because he will randomly just pop off and like clutch a game for us. But one time with DJ and I, it was a solo contract. We basically eliminated the whole lobby except for one team, and it was an underground boss slayer. We killed the boss, and these guys came in. They were both rednecks, and they were talking smack, like lots of smack. And they were like, "Yeah, come on, boy!" Like, they're role playing, so it was pretty funny. And then they kill DJ and I, and they go after you underground. You got a Mosin.
I
like
picked up one of their Obras.
Yeah. So and then and they start talking smack to you. They're like, "I like the way you die, boy," or something like that. And then you just turn around and headshot one of them. And then you pull out a knife and just chase the other one, and you get him good. And then you clutched it for us and got us both up. And that was a great feeling too. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I think that was like we were all just like super hyped about that one.
Yeah, that was just really funny.
So stupid.
Yeah.
All right,
Aaron and Colin, you got something?
I'm having a hard time picking just one because I've had a couple of good ones recently.
You've had some good clutches too, speaking of which.
Yeah, let's just hear one of them.
Well, one that
there's always other podcasts. Sorry.
Yeah, it's true.
One that really sticks in my mind.
To be continued.
Jesus Christ.
Is when the first time I popped off with the slate. Because it was just, I was like, hey.
I think I was there, right?
Yeah, you were there. I think it was me, you, and Richard that were all playing. Maybe it was DJ. And a team came in and downed the two of you. And just, I don't know what took over me, but I was just weaving around, and I think I got 4 kills in that compound because it was 2 teams, and you guys got 2 of the hunters, and I picked off everybody else. Just
right.
You were a shredding machine. I got it.
I was, and it was nuts.
That wouldn't be the one I recorded where I clutched the same match, would it?
I do remember that one that you're mentioning, but yeah. I don't think it was the same one.
I don't think.
I was talking about a different one.
That's kind of what I thought.
Are you thinking about the one just recently where it was just me and you, DJ? Where I was?
No, I was there too, and I kept. I was there too, and I died like every time.
Tyler got Sparks headshot.
Yeah, and then you clutched first. Yeah. And then after we got into another fight with another team, DJ clutched the second time.
That's right.
And I did nothing.
They chased me into the church, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember now.
I took you to church.
But I made them worship like a dog.
Yeah, that was awesome to witness, though. That was great.
My first shotgun clutch.
Hell yeah.
And not your last, for sure.
Not my last.
What's your most memorable, Aaron? Let's hear it. At least currently.
One you can think of.
You know what? It's just got to go to that entire match that I played solo a couple nights ago.
0.
I ended up.
Oh, that's right.
You need to
Oh,
record.
yeah.
This is why I'm like, dude, I need to start recording more, or at least stream or something. Like, fuck my life, dude, because I wiped out 3 teams, 1 duo, 2 trios. I didn't see the other last team, but it was in what's the map that has a bunch of water on it?
All of them?
It's Lost in Delta, I think.
I think so. It was towards the top of the map on the right side, next to the town that's like almost completely submerged in water.
Scupper?
Like, yeah, Scooper?
Yeah,
or-
so next to that.
Oh,
I just can't
Port.
you
remember
mean the
name.
church? Port Riker?
Yeah, Port Riker. Port
Okay.
Riker. I was in Port Riker in the small boss lair.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I know what you're talking
After
about.
I
Got
killed the
boat.
boss, people started showing up, but it was just one after another. So the first team was a duo. They just I had a fucking what's that thing called? The 3-shot.
The drilling?
Birthday?
No. Yes, the Berthier. I had the Berthier with flame rounds in it, and then I had a Dolch because the fucking supply crates kept giving me Dolches.
Why not?
So I had that to survive with, and the whole time I'm getting pushed by this first duo. They almost killed me like 3 different times, but I managed to drop them. And then immediately after, the next team rolled in. None of these teams encountered each other for some reason.
Of course.
They all just showed up
They
back
smelled you.
to back. So I fucking in the middle of this second fight, I run out of ammo in the Berthier, so I'm stuck with the fucking Dolch, and I'm not good with the Dolch. I fucking suck ass with the Dolch. Compared to how good that gun is, I suck ass with it.
Tell me more.
I managed to somehow push out, run around the entire fucking compound, and kill that next team. And then the next team showed up, and they forced me to sit back into the boss lair.
I mean, at least they
My
gave you the
God.
time to kill the previous team.
Yeah.
I guess, but it was just like a whole back-to-back thing where not a single one of those other teams taught
Encountered
each other at all.
Yeah.
Jeez, wait.
Except for obviously the one, most likely that last trio that was in that match. They just were nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they extracted or they're just farming.
Or they
for
fought
points or
earlier.
something. Yeah,
Hmm.
true. True,
this be a
true.
lesson
But I
to
didn't hear any
record.
fighting. Yeah, like that. It was a fucking wild match. I can't remember every single detail because I play so much of this fucking game. But God, that one is probably one of my more memorable matches in a while.
Especially recently, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, go
we
ahead.
Just I was just saying, yeah, we just need to record more.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you don't think about until after it happens. You're like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? I didn't hit the record button. So yeah.
That's why I just record everything now. Otherwise, I'm gonna miss it. I
I
always
just
know.
don't have enough hard drive space to do that.
Right.
So.
Okay. So are we good? We got
Yeah,
our
I
scores?
think
Yeah.
I think
We
that's
are good.
everything.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much to anybody who listens to this. And thank you for making it to the end. We will always take suggestions for topics. If you join our Discord, I'll be sure to have that. It will be attached to our Reddit profile, and I'll be sure to make sure it's in our description of our YouTube videos. And if you have any future suggestions, please leave them in our comments. And I think that about wraps it up unless anybody has
Yeah.
any final thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Just stay hunting and yeah.
Stay hunting.
Give up.
Yeah. Give up.
Don't try.
You'll never make it,
Give
kid.
up. You'll never make it. You'll never make it.
Not in this game, no.
You'll never make it. You'll never
I wish
make
somebody
it.
told me that.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah.